Hey everybody. So on a request, I'm gonna create a short video, or actually two. First of all, the basic stuff to get you get you started. The second one would be more the advanced stuff. So if you're an advanced user already, you can skip this video, go to the next one. If you want to know the basics, well, I'll try to explain. First of all, you need to download the application, obviously. Then when the application is downloaded, you would see this, and then you would need to add the device. Just new device, choose button plus, and then connect it. Once that's done, you go back to the application itself. Then you click on configure. It will load your configuration, and from that point on, you should make sure that you do see your button plus listed here. If it's empty, it's not working. Then, secondly, tick this button because that means it's going to actually save the configuration to your button plus. From the menu, you can select different configurations, and well, you might want to start with display configurations because that's the big screen where you kind of put a lot of data on, or maybe not a lot, but just the data you care about. Myself, I put in a lot of details, so if you probably have seen on my button plus, but that's just because I like to have this data at hand before I watch it on my phone, but I just like to see it on the screen. Then how that works, you're first going to select the device. So that could be a lamp, that could be a heater, whatever you have configured already in your Homey. I did it for my power meter, which is in my home. And from there on, you can choose the functionality of that device. So this device has a lot of functionalities for the power, but I'm just using the. You can only select one, and I selected current usage of my home. You can give it a label. That label will go on top of whatever number comes out of it. You can put in the unit, meaning, for example, if it's power, you put in wattage. But if it's maybe water, you can put in a cube meter or whatever metric is applicable to you. Then the position, that's the position on the device. So it starts from bottom to top, and then from left to right, or the other way around. I don't remember even. Then you put in the width of this specific field. You can even put in a number, how many numbers are behind the dot. Well, for power, I've put it on 0, and you can choose the how big your font is going to be. What I would recommend is when you configure this, be next to the device or plug it into your USB, because you're gonna need a lot of back and forth on, is it in the right position? Does it really work for me? Do I need to align it better? And from that point on, you just start adding more items. So my second item is the price. Then I've put in the phases again from one of my power meters, and so on and so on. Then the temperature, I'm getting this, for example, from my weather station. I don't use the button plus one. It also has a built-in one, but it's more that I like to know it from my weather station because it's not at a wall and just in the middle of my living room. And so you can on and on and on per device. So you can put in a lot of stuff here or just a few, but that's up to you. I also have a lot of advanced features here. For example, my garbage is being listed there, which is a little bit more complicated. I will show that in the second video. But of course, most of the other apps, like how big the wind is or other stuff, is just comes default by a lot of weather apps. Then when you go to the button configurations, you want to at least create 3, so that, well, depends on which button plus you have, but if you have one button, you create only 1 or 2 configurations. But if you have 2, you create 2, and if you have 3, you create at least 3. Then if you want to do the menu swapping, you also need to create a 4, 5, and 6. I made I used 1, 2, and 3 for setting flows. And then I used 4, 5, 6 for my actual lamps. So if you want to do individual on and off in my living room. So how that looks, again, you just select the device, you choose to put it on or off, or in this case, it's a dimmer, so you can set the level of dimming. You put in the label. Um, Again, it's just the name which comes on top. You put in the status when it's on. That's also being shown on the label, and you give it a color. So typically a lamp, I put in yellow, but if it's the color lamp or anything else like a flow, I put in red, but you can choose yourself. For the broker, most people standard would do, but I've just configured my own one um, just because I wanted to test it, but it's not needed at all because the broker what comes with the app is perfectly fine. So that's about it on the default configuration. So whatever configuration you do, I can really recommend to use this feature and just export your configuration once a while. It's a good backup. You never know what's going to happen. Save it when you're done um, because you can just import it when everything breaks. Well, that's it for the default stuff. And I will go to my next video into more advanced stuff. How do you configure flows? How do you get stuff like garbage collection on your display? I will show that in the second video. So take care. Thank you.